Here's the story of the Caterpillar 793C. Caterpillar's 793C was released in 1993 by the manufacturer, and it was a remarkable piece of heavy machinery designed to endure the most demanding tasks of mining operations all around the world. This mining beast was a high-class truck, known for its robustness and its efficiency. It could typically carry payloads up to 260 US tons, and it had an empty weight of just about 113 tons. The 93C was powered by Caterpillar's in-house engine, the 3516, that developed up to 2,300 horsepower. This mining truck had and still has, to this day, a maximum speed of 37 miles per hour. The 793C sits at the top of the list of those machines that changed the mining world forever. An absolute beast of a truck currently available in its newer F version. You're about to see some really amazing paint jobs. This is the unique paint color used on an older Komatsu PC 8000 used in the Jwaneng mine in Botswana. And this right here is what we could definitely call a beautiful lineup of black cats. Absolutely love this, don't you as well? And what do you think about the color of this Liebherr 9350 working in Israel? Love it or hate it? If this color isn't your thing, then maybe you'll like MacArthur Cole's old Paintjobs from the early 2000s. Certainly a unique color scheme right there. If red is your thing, there's no doubt that Kofra's 385 is gonna steal your heart right away. I mean, just look at it. And what about that sublime paint job on BHP's D11, which they called Big Blue? Stunning, ain't it? Almost the same color right here, this time applied on a 352 owned by Australian company Ostacom. And finally, what about this Liebherr 938 specifically produced to celebrate 50 years on the American market? Phenomenal. So let's talk about that Caterpillar D12. We heard that for so long. The Caterpillar D12 is on the way. While officially we haven't seen anything from Cat, one Australian contractor decided to make his own version of the long-awaited D12. There it is. So the D12 does exist, but only in Australia, in Queensland to be more specific, where company Mearns Hire have heavily modified 4 of their Cat D11 models for their earth-moving business. And it ain't no light work. The process? They take a D11R or N model, remove the standard V8 engine, stretch out the chassis, making it longer to give them the extra space to fit in a V12 taken from a 785 mining truck. Now running with 1250 horsepower, the Unofficial D12 requires a secondary transmission oil cooler, which is mounted up on top of the cab. This is what we call a phenomenal work. How much do you think it costs, just in fuel, to run a 797? The Caterpillar 797 is one of the biggest trucks in the world, and it can carry up to 400 short tons of material. But do you actually know how much it costs to run it, in fuel only? Let's get into it. The 797 is equipped with a 1,200-gallon fuel tank, or 4,540 liters. On average, the mining truck will need 114 liters, or 30 gallons, to keep running per hour. It will need a refill every 40 operating hours. So, over a full year of operation, a Cat 797 will need to be refilled a little bit more than 180 times, which translates to a global consumption of 216,000 gallons per year. At a current wholesale price of $3.58 per gallon, it currently costs just about $773,000 US dollars to run a 797 for a year. And that's in fuel only. Silly numbers. Did you know there's a Liebherr 996 out there with 150,000 working hours? Discontinued a few years ago and replaced by the 9600, the Liebherr 996 is by far one of the most reliable machines ever produced by the German manufacturer. And this story proves it. As reported by the brand, in late July this year, a fully refurbished 996 excavator went to work at Yancoal's Camaby Downs mine in Queensland, Australia. This machine had been in service for 13 years before being completely overhauled. Over the course of its first life, the excavator collected 70,000 working hours and moved more than 110 million cubic meters of material. Yancoal made the decision to entirely refurbish the machine rather than retire it. It's been reported by Liebherr that a 996 operating in Indonesia has almost reached 148,000 hours. Is it possible for Yancoals to reach that milestone? If you ever wondered how much it costs to run a 9800, here's the answer. The Liebherr 9800 is one of the biggest hydraulic excavators in the world. And while the retail price of $11 million might not sound like a lot for a machine of this size, the running cost will have you think twice in case you are interested in buying one. Listen to this. Equipped with a fuel tank of 5,200 gallons, aka 19.6 thousand liters, it costs at current market price $22,600 every time you refill the excavator. One tank of fuel will keep the machine running for 35 hours only. So put it this way, the 9800 will need about 250 refills in a year. That's a total of $5,650,000 in diesel alone. Now add to this all the major extras such as greasing, filters, component replacements, operators, etc. Then multiply this by the amount of machines on site. We're talking insane numbers. Welcome to mining. Welcome to KOV, one of Congo's biggest cobalt mines. The KOV mine is located in Katanga, in the Democratic Republic of the Congo. It's owned by Glencore, and it produces cobalt, a critical component in the production of lithium-ion batteries. In 2022, the brownfield mine produced an estimated 13.4 thousand tons of cobalt. But gifted by one of the richest ground on the planet, KOV also happens to be the largest high-grade copper resource in the world. Mining at the project is expected to be continued until 2028 at a strip ratio of 7.2 on a ton-on-ton basis. Ore production is primarily oxide and mixed material with just 8% sulfide ore. More than 60% of the world's supply of cobalt is mined in the copper belt of the southeastern provinces of the Democratic Republic of the Congo. This is an open door to recurrent controversies.